Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 New Dawn run. Hope you're all doing well. So the new ban system, of course, is very powerful and allows you to sculpt your shop so that powerful items appear much more often. But what if we were to use the new ban system exactly wrong? So today what we're going to do is play the Explorer, because I think this is one of the characters that's going to be most impacted by this restriction, for reasons I'll get into in a second. And we're going to ban the first 8 S-tier items that we see in order to decrease the quality of our shop as much as possible. I think it's just really funny to have to use the bans in precisely the incorrect way. So we're gonna see what happens when we do that. I'm using Jousting Lance here just because I like this weapon for the Explorer. This is a character that's all about running around, so we're just gonna go ahead and use Jousting Lance. I also am not sure I've done an Explorer Jousting Lance run previously. So that's gonna be kind of fun as well. This weapon scales off of our movement speed, so we don't particularly need melee damage or crit chance, but I guess I'll take the Claw Tree anyways. It's still a nice stat boost, so we'll go ahead and take that. And Scared Sausage, I am going to recycle. This character will only be able to set enemies on fire if we find Pocket Factory. Now, Pocket Factory I don't think counts as an S-tier item, but we just don't have anything to do. No, you know what? Let's take the Scared Sausage just for fun. I think that that's not the optimal decision. The materials would be better, but the fun potential of the Scared Sausage is pretty high, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. All right, so coffee. That's a clear S-tier item, and so we must ban it in order to weaken our shops. And then we're going to lock the turret. I do want turret because, again, Pocket Factory is a direction we could take this build. We'll buy the Jousting Lance here. Weird Ghost, I don't think counts as S tier, so I will lock it there, and then we'll lock a Jousting Lance. Since I found a Jousting Lance, I could buy one of these items, but I still want to save my money in order to get more lances, so we're just not going to buy anything there. Banning the coffee is especially painful because Jousting Lance mainly wants attack speed, and that obviously is one of the best sources of it, so having to ban it hurts a lot. The reason that I say that this restriction is going to hurt the Explorer more than most other characters is there's some very specific items, really powerful items, that the Explorer really, really wants. Most notably Bag, Lemonade, and Weird Food. And those items are all S-tier items that we're going to have to ban. Similar with Coupon, so we're banning that one out. And then we'll take 5 more luck. I do like harvesting, but luck is so important on the Explorer. Your itemization is, your economy is mainly going to come from killing trees and getting crates out of them. So increasing your luck is incredibly important for this character. Another reason that it's going to tend to suffer, given that we're banning all the best items in the game, because a lot of those, like Propeller Hat or Lost Duck, are where you get luck on this character. So we're going to have a harder time getting the key stats that this character needs, as well as the really powerful economy items like Bag that we depend upon in order to maximize our income on the Explorer. For this character, you mainly want to focus on killing trees. That's the most important thing. And here, I guess I'll take a charcoal. It does cost me 2 harvesting, but the stats are not terrible. And then we'll take 5 harvesting to offset that. And then I'm going to roll looking for a Jousting Lance. Oh, whoops. I should have bought these 2 items before rolling, but we have to ban the Lemonade, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll buy these 2 items and then reroll. Broken Mouth, that definitely counts, so that's another ban down the drain. And then we're going to roll again. We'll lock a Jousting Lance. I don't think any of these items count as ban-worthy, so on to the next map. Nice that we got a crate there. We did very poorly in terms of crate drops in the first couple waves, compared to the Explorer's average. Because you get so many trees, you should see a lot of crates early on. Definitely need to find more crates here if we can. There we go. Got one. Can we get another? Got one more. There was another tree over there, but I wasn't able to kill it. The extra range on this character, I think glasses is worth 8 materials here. It's close, honestly. Like, you could recycle here, but we'll take the glasses. Lifesteal is going to be pretty bad on a weapon that attacks this slowly, so we're just going to go ahead and recycle Decomposing Flesh. Roll here and roll again. Really unfortunate to miss this many times in a row, but I'll take 5% damage. Taking percent damage is very important on a character that has a percent damage penalty. When you have a stat that's low like that, increasing it is more impactful than other stats. Does Whistle count as an S tier item? I think there's enough builds that don't want the Whistle that this doesn't count, so I'm going to go ahead and buy it. The definition that I'm using for what is an S tier item here, by the way, is pure vibes. So if you disagree, feel free to let me know in the comments. Obviously, jerky counts, so we're going to go ahead and ban that, and then we'll take a cake. I think cake doesn't count, although it's close. It's like top of A tier. Definitely want to clear the buff aliens, because they make things a little harder, and we want to kill the curse aliens if possible, because when you are getting a lot of your economy not from money, but from free items, the chance of those items being cursed is very helpful. Black belt, I don't think counts. I will take it, although it's pretty rough for this character, because losing luck is pretty painful. We'll take the injection here. Increasing our percent damage is very important. And then we're going to do a reroll. I have a couple points of armor. I could just take 5 attack speed. I feel like I can do better than this. I want to roll. I was really hoping to find luck or harvesting, but I guess I'll take 5% damage here. And I go ahead and upgrade our Jousting Lance, and we'll buy a defective steroids pearl. The chance of finding pearls in boxes is pretty good, so I'll lock that, even though it currently is doing nothing because our luck is really low. Then we're going to roll a couple times in order to try to find more Jousting Lances. Metal Detector I don't think counts, so we'll take that. It's also a little worse on this character, but because we're dropping so many fewer materials. But the advantage of the Metal Detector is that it just gives us 6 luck, and we're kind of desperate for luck at this point, so I have to spend a lot of money on that, even if it's a fairly inefficient way to buy it. So I need some maximum health currently, because right now we're playing on 19, which is quite low. I also need some attack speed, very important for Jousting Lance, especially as you level it up. It both benefits a ton from it, because the base damage and damage scaling on this weapon are both very good. And also, it requires it because you're moving so fast and can't stop moving. You need to be constantly attacking so that you're not running into enemies. All right, here's another tragic ban. We got to get rid of weird food. Plant, I don't think plant counts because there are lifesteal builds that won't buy it. So we'll take the plant here and then we'll take another plant. Finding those two is really nice. Getting some regeneration, very important. I'm going to re-roll here and we'll take 5 harvesting and then I could take 6 dodge, but honestly, I'm just going to take 5 luck. Luck is so critical for this character. We have to ban the Lost Duck. That's a pretty solid S tier item, I would say. Even on elemental builds, you'll sometimes buy that item because it's so efficient. So given that you'll buy it even on builds where the restriction is exactly worst for your build, that's right up there at the top tier. As a side note, of course, you can simply reverse what we're banning here, and if you just always buy those items whenever you see them, that will go a long way towards making your shopping significantly better in this game. So if you're looking to learn how to improve your play, any item that we've banned in this run, just buy it every single time you see it. Those should mostly be pretty intuitive, I think, because those are just kind of obviously powerful items. I had to run away, and I took too much damage, so I wasn't able to kill the loot alien. It also cost me a lot of tree kills, so pretty bad movement from me that wave really hurt. I'll take the alien eyes. This isn't great for this character in terms of damage output, but it can break trees in a convenient way for us. And then I think I need the 10 harvesting. Our economy is falling way behind. So the 4 regeneration is also really tempting, but the harvesting I think is more important. We'll take the cake. Compass, I will definitely take. The move speed, of course, boosts our jousting lances. Sharp bullet, I'm going to pass on. We have no use for it. Mushroom, I'm gonna buy, because we need the regen, even at the cost of luck here. And, oh no! This one's brutal, but lure, it's gotta go. So we're gonna go ahead and ban that one out. I'll lock the head injury, because fixing our percent damage will help our jousting lances actually kill stuff. Alright, so now that we've banned 8 S-tier items and decreased the quality of our shop significantly, if we find more S-tier items, we're allowed to buy them. So that's, we're not restricting our shopping, just what we use our bans on. You can see how impactful this is, though, by how much less money we're making and how much weaker this character is than just a normal character without the ban system would be at this point in the game. I think this is like a pretty good illustration of just how powerful banning is, where if you ban all the best items, it vastly decreases your power level. When you ban all the worst items, it's going to make your shop significantly better. It won't be as impactful because by banning all the best items, we're also not buying all the best items, which matters a lot. But it still, I think, is going to really illustrate how critical good ban strategy is going to be in terms of winning at this video game. I'll take the fruit basket. One thing I didn't mention was I wasn't planning to ban new items, even if I think they're S tier. I'm not yet sure if fruit basket counts as S tier, though it's probably pretty close. We're going to recycle the pencil here. I'll take the whetstone. Currently, we have no real use for lifesteal, but it's only 20 materials, so it's pretty cheap. And boxing glove for half a damage on each of our weapons. Probably worth it as well. Recycling machine will pick up. That's a great find. And then here, we're going to take 15 attack speed. Getting our attack speed positive matters a ton. We'll buy Jousting Lance and Head Injury, and then roll, and then here is another plant and an injection for us. Vorpal Sword, it is a medieval weapon, so it could be a nice addition to our setup here, but I think I'm going to stick with the Jousting Lances. This we have to buy melee damage for, which we don't really want to do. Here's another pile of S-tier items that we... Bean Teacher is probably not quite S-tier, but when you find it this early, it's really good. But here's another pile of S-tier items that we're pleased we don't have to ban. In particular, the extra luck from the propeller hat is going to be super important for this character. Your strategy on the Explorer, of course, is you should just break trees as much as possible. Enemies drop half as many materials, so while you do want to kill them, it is important to do that. It's much less important to focus on killing enemies than it is on finding and killing trees. Since that's where all of your money and economy is going to come from, is the free items from trees. Break those 2 trees in the middle of the map, kill that one, pick up some more consumable healing, and then run over to here. The fact that we had to ban a weird food and a couple other things is pretty awful. I'll take the baby gecko. Sunglasses, I'm going to recycle. Our crit chance is good for the Jousting Lance. It's got 2x crit damage, and it's got high base damage, so it multiplies pretty well with crit chance. But this is worth 62 materials, which is a lot. And we just need to increase that. We'll take a Scar here, and then Strange Book I'm going to recycle. And I do really want more movement speed. It's obviously really good with Jousting Lances, but I think I have to take the 4 regeneration. And we're super happy to see 9 HP. That matters so much. All right, we're going to buy all these items and then roll. Sharp Bullet we're still passing on. We'll take a Jousting Lance, even at the cost of move speed. Armor's just so important, we have to buy that. And I'll take a Blood Leech here. My healing is very poor, so I am going to try to fix that. We're going to do a reroll. Another S tier item that we would have to ban if we still had bans left, but we'll definitely take Barnacle. Especially goes well with the... Oh, right, the sort is still backwards. Especially goes well with the Bean Teacher that we just picked up. Alien Worm, do I want that? Our consumable heal is a big chunk of our healing, but our HP is terrible, and fixing our regeneration is really important as well. So, although this is really tough for the Explorer to buy Alien Worm, because consumable healing is such a big chunk of our healing, I think we do want the Alien Worm because my max HP is also really bad. If I find a good max HP upgrade, I might skip it, so even though I locked it in the shop, we may end up not buying it. Because it does cost me a lot of healing to decrease my consumable healing, especially because I believe we banned Lemonade and Weird Food. I can't remember if I banned both or just one of them. So there's no easy way for us to fix our consumable healing once we've decreased it. Can we get that loot alien kill? Sadly not. Laser turret, I don't think it's worth spending 84 on, so I'm going to recycle it. Similarly with the Tyler. These are both items I would be happy with, but since we have recycling machine, we are going to want to just take the money a lot of the time. I will take Terrified Onion, although it cost me 5 luck. Move speed, of course, scales our weapons. Treasure Map, this is an item we would normally have to ban, but fortunately we've used all our bans. We'll take 10 attack speed, and then... do I want 10 harvesting here? I think I'm gonna roll, and we'll take 2 armor. That's perfect. Here, we'll buy the Barnacle, and then 36 max HP currently. I think I'm still gonna pass on the Alien Worm. I know I keep harping on the sort, but it should certainly remember your sort order between waves. So, just to talk about the sort just a little bit. The correct default sort order for Brotato is to put your character at the front, because that's the most relevant information, followed by items from newest to oldest, because that gives you the progression and the most relevant information for your decision making. I like the fact that you can change the sort order here, but the way it's presented here is backwards. We don't need to know that we bought a Scared Sausage 15 waves ago. That doesn't matter to us anymore. Here I'm gonna reroll, and I could take the Feather. We do have 6 dodge, so this character could build dodge, but I think we need to roll for max HP first. I will take Corrupted Shard and Duct Tape. Armor is still really important, so even though our max HP is low, we're still gonna buy that. Alien Baby is worth considering for this character. Increasing enemy health doesn't matter as much to the Explorer, since killing enemies is not that important. The 15 max HP does matter a lot. I think we'll skip it, but it's close. The fact that we didn't find bag until we used all our bans is actually really nice for us, so I'm gonna buy the bag, and that will fix our economy quite a bit. Same with the Shady Potion here. We're also not going to reroll, because 27 materials is really expensive. But finding the bag after we've used all our bans, and so still being able to buy bag on Explorer, is really nice. That'll help fix our economy. The Shady Potion helps a lot as well, because increasing luck just matters a lot to this character, especially because we have a Pearl. Losing a third of my HP every time I take damage isn't great, though, especially since this character's low attack speed means that we're going to take damage pretty consistently. Having to ban the coffee contributing to that as well. I missed that tree. I had to do a quick drive-by and wasn't able to hit it, but because I'm taking so much damage, the loot alien got a heal in the middle there. That's really sad. I really wanted to kill at least one of those. I'll take the compass here. Peacock we can't take. We're going into an elite wave next wave, so we could just get obliterated if I take this item. Fertilizer we will take, and then I guess I'll take another scared sausage. I said I would take these because it might be fun to have them. Do I want attack speed, luck, or regen, or should I be rolling here for maximum health? This would give me a plus 12 maximum health upgrade with the barnacle, and that would fix my max HP. On the other hand, 20 luck or 20 attack speed or 5 regeneration are all really nice. I think I'm going to take the attack speed. It's just so powerful for this weapon. And then here, we'll take 16 max HP. Stone Skin, that's great, fixing our max HP again, really powerful. And then we're going to buy another Jousting Lance. We'll take a reroll here. Blindfold, I think, is worth buying. I'm going to buy that because we have 6 dodge, so we could build some more dodge, and then we'll buy Jousting Lance, and Improved Tools. All great items, assuming that we survive this next wave. But the fact that I was able to increase my max health so much means we're much more likely to. We're just going to run away from the elite. We don't have the attack speed or damage to kill it. Since we're the explorer, we started with a huge damage penalty, and we also were not able to buy the best items in the game, so we're operating at a deficit here. So we're just going to run away from the elite, focus on killing trees, and try to make our money that way. Getting a couple crates here, which is pretty nice. I am trying to thin out the enemies just as we pass by them, because of course they're still worth materials to kill, even if half as many. And it makes our movement significantly easier. Getting levels on our Jousting Lances also helped a lot. We're now able to kill things in one attack much more frequently. Yeah, we'll take the beanie here. Hedgehog, I will take as well. This is -1 regen for... I guess this is -1 regen for +1 damage on our weapons. Let's actually recycle that because we've got... It gives us 46 materials. I'll take 10% damage there, and then we're going to go ahead and upgrade our weapons. Buy the blindfold, and then do a reroll, and then lock a couple more very solid items for us. I do think it's really interesting getting to see so starkly just how important it is to ban well. You can see how far behind this character is compared to where a normal Explorer run would be, because we had to ban all the best items in the game, and we're kind of struggling with our defensive stats, which would not be a problem if we had all the consumable healing items that we had to ban, and so on. Banner, yep, we need as much attack speed as we can get. Going into an elite wave, can I take the Scarf? I really want these stats. These are all excellent stats for us. I think increasing enemy move speed, even going into an elite wave, is okay for this character. We're really fast, so we can outpace the elite regardless. A Gentle Alien, obviously another S tier item we would have had to ban. We'll buy the Sad Tomato and the Shady Potion, leaving Improved Tools locked for another wave. We'll take Pocket Factory and Jousting Lance, and then a Gambling Token, also really good. A Cursed Pocket Factory is really fun for the Explorer, so we're really glad that we found that. Yeah, it does not look like I have the damage to fight the elite, and because they have increased movement speed this wave as well, it doesn't make sense to try. So we're just going to focus on staying away from it and staying alive. Breaking trees. Once I get the... Going into the next elite wave, we can probably try to kill it, because we'll have a little more damage, we'll have a little more attack speed, we'll have better weapon levels and everything. But this wave, because we bought the Scarf, and because our damage still isn't amazing, most important to focus on just surviving. Also, once we get the Pocket Factory, that actually will help clear enemies a lot more powerfully, so... because we'll just have a lot more DPS on the field from the turrets. Took a little extra damage there, but we have enough consumables on the field. We should be able to heal up pretty well. And then we'll take the duct tape. Penguin, that's amazing. Great regeneration for the Explorer, of course. We'll take the cute monkey as well. Another metal detector I will still take. It does cost me damage, but the luck is just so good for this character. We'll take 20 attack speed, and then we're going to buy the cursed item first. Wow, this poor improved tools has just been waiting for so many waves. We just keep finding amazing shops. And we don't have any money because we're playing the Explorer, so rather than getting money, we get free items. So now that I have the Pocket Factory and the scared sausages, we can build elemental damage, because that's a good way to spread elemental damage. If we found a will-o-wisp, we could end up with so much elemental damage. That would be pretty fun. The best item we could possibly find is probably Gobbler's Hat, because that just gives us enormous amounts of money from enemies. But at this point, we're fairly comfortable. We've found a lot of the things that we need. We'll get our percent damage fixed. Getting a free pearl is great. Helps a lot with our percent damage again. We'll take another turret. Rip and Tear, I think I'm just going to keep recycling. We don't have explosion size increases, so I just don't think that we need an item like that. I'm going to take the armor over the move speed here just to make sure that we don't die. And then we'll finally get to buy the improved tools. We'll get to buy some Jousting Lance upgrades. And we'll take the gambling token because we've built a bunch of dodge. Getting more dodge is pretty powerful. We've got the tree and the cute monkey. And then I'm going to roll. And we'll take a schmoop as well. More health and regen, very important. Coil we can pass on for this build because we have negative knockback. If I found multiple coils, it would be pretty good, because percent damage is one of the things we're missing the most currently. Jousting Lance is a weapon that I think is heavily underrated in the Brotato community. You rarely see this mentioned as one of the best weapons in the game, but it definitely is. It has really high base damage, and it scales with a stat that you want to buy anyways, so you don't have to spend any money on melee damage, just on move speed. And it also, because it has really high base damage, it means that you don't have to buy damage upgrades in the early game. The Jousting Lance will just take care of everything, all the damage that you need. It also has the medieval tag, so it gives you a bunch of defensive stats for free. So this weapon is just a really good weapon overall. Terrified Onion, I guess I'll take it. We're still a Jousting Lance build. I'm going to keep recycling Alien Worms. I'll take the Boxing Glove. Okay, now, since we found Cursed Boxing Glove, kind of wishing I'd locked that coil. I'll take the Charcoal because the elemental damage is actually relevant now. And so both the melee and elemental damage are not terrible. We'll take Duct Tape. Saltwater is still worth picking up, even though elemental damage is fine. Then we'll buy another Charcoal here. Take 6 regeneration. That gets us to 30, which is great. Here, we're going to go ahead and buy the cursed items. And do I want the fin? I guess so. Extra move speed still just increases our weapon damage by so much. We'll lock a Jousting Lance, and then we'll reroll, and then we will lock a Corrupted Shard. I think we should be able to kill the elite here. I'm going to run away from it briefly, because we have Sad Tomato, and if I... So I don't want to attack it right away because we had half health, so we might die. We can get some healing going, and that also helps us put Pocket Factory turrets on the field, so it's going to help us clear everything else out. It does look like our DPS is still too low to kill the elite, though. Just our attack speed and base damage are just not high enough. So I think rather than focusing on killing it, I'm going to focus on breaking more trees. This is because we were not able to find that much percent damage. And I've bought a couple items that don't help us kill the elite, but help us clear other things, or just have fun by setting everything on fire. At this point, though, our defensive stats are good enough that we're just in great shape. Lantern, great. We do want 10% damage. That's excellent. Although, again, not taking the coil has turned out to be the worst decision. Yeah, I'll take an incendiary turret. We'll take a lighthouse. That's really good, actually, because we have improved tools and we have pocket factory. So the lighthouse giving us extra engineering, a lot of extra engineering, means that our pocket factory turrets are going to be really good. Celery tea at this point, I think I will still take it. I feel like we have the damage to make that work. We'll take 10% more damage and then 8% more dodge, going up to 33 dodge. We'll definitely take a Cursed Wings, and then we'll upgrade our Jousting Lance and reroll, lock a tree. Book, I don't think is worth locking, even though we do have an engineering sub-theme. Spending 38 on one engineering isn't, I think, really where we want to be. Even though we have Celery Tea this wave, we do still, I think, have the damage to kill some enemies, and more importantly, a lot of our XP gain is not coming from the materials from enemies anyways, but from the ones we get from trees and harvesting. I will say that the knockback from the Lantern does not play well with the fact that we bought Celery Tea this wave. Enemies having lots of health and getting pushed away is making them pretty difficult to kill. And also, obviously, Celery Tea hurts when... Where did that loot alien go? I fully lost track of it. There it is. Yeah, the Lantern is just sending it into space. Celery Tea hurts when some of our damage comes from Pocket Factory or elemental damage, because that damage is just not high enough to kill the double health enemies. I will take the fuel tank. I think elemental damage is still worth picking up, and then we'll take a garden here. We'll take the crown, because you can't be the king of Brotato without it. And then piercing damage is really good with our Pocket Factory, so we'll take that. Here, I'm going to reroll. I think we can do better. And then attack speed matters more than basically any other stat for us. We'll go ahead and buy these items and do a reroll. My max HP is fine. I think we can pass on the cake. I will take the metal, though, because this is all just great stats for us. And then let's... Oh, I just rolled past a Jousting Lance. I am sort of used to ignoring this weapon, so I may have rolled past it a couple times. Just because... Although I said it's one of the best weapons in the game, and it is, you really want fixed Jousting Lances, and you need to start with it and build around it. You don't want to mix it into builds with other weapons, so usually it's one you can ignore when you're building a different weapon. So you can see that the damage from our Scared Sausage and Pocket Factory is starting to add up pretty significantly, because we have piercing shots, because we got Lighthouse and improved tools, so they're doing more damage and attacking faster, because I bought some elemental damage. This character is starting to get clear speed from things that aren't just our weapon attacks. It's still mostly our weapons, but it does help a lot. We'll take the defective steroids, helmet, and compass. And then here, I think 5 armor is probably going to be the best thing for the elite, for the boss fight. We'll upgrade our weapons and take a medal, and then we'll do some rerolls, another Jousting Lance and a baby gecko. We actually found so many lances. One other advantage of this weapon is that the medieval weapon tag... Okay, so wait, so now it is... What is the sort order that it's doing here? Saying sorted by obtaining, but it's actually sorting by rarity. That's really funny. They still need to work on the sort order a little bit, I think. So here we go, sorted by name, and we get the character first, and then items by name order. Interesting. We do obtaining, and then we get the character first, and then this is in order. but then if we reorder it, we get character last. So what if we do name? Now we've got... Yeah, so name correctly pins the character to the start, but then when you reorder it, it puts the character at the end. It should always have the character at the start here. And then rarity is working with the ascending sort, and then the descending sort was correct, but it was showing sorting by obtaining it as the sort, but it was sorted by rarity. Weird. I would like, again, you know, they just need to do another pass. Obviously, this stuff is all in beta. This is new features, no big deal. But I'm going to provide feedback as I have it. And then let's go to Wave 20. The reason I keep harping on the sort order stuff, of course, is that I was a professional UX designer for like a decade, so this stuff matters to me. I'm thinking that we should be able to kill one of the elites, or one of the bosses, but our damage is still just not quite high enough. And with Jousting Lance, or I was thinking we should be able to kill at least one of the bosses, but with Jousting Lance, because you can't stop moving, or you stop doing damage, it's very hard to focus damage on a specific enemy easily. Though, I can just spiral around the snake boss here. This is really funny movement, actually. Alright, so we got one boss kill. Can I get the whale boss as well? The damage from our turrets is starting to really add up. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, we got it! Right at the end. And then we ascend to the heavens. Alright, so that was a really fun run. You can really see the impact of banning the best items in the game, and how we had to kind of struggle to come back from that. I think that that's, like I said, a really good illustration of just how powerful the ban system is. When you use it wrong, you can see just how much it hurts the character. Let's take a look at our items. So we did 40k damage from Scared Sausages, not bad, and then 200,000 damage from turrets and Pocket Factory. Obviously incredible in terms of our damage output. Alien Eyes dealt 20, almost, we're one off of 22222, which would have been nice. 65 extra fruits from the fruit basket, 360 materials from Recycling Machine, 7 items from Treasure Map, of course, really good that we were able to get this because we'd used all our bans, and 600 materials from Bag, similarly, really nice that this didn't show up until we'd used all our bans. Then the Cursed Pocket Factory was great, 135 healing from Cute Monkey, 32k damage from Incendiary Turret, so still pretty good on that as well. And then, what else? 11 harvesting from the crown, but of course we didn't buy it for the stats, but for the swag. So, there we go. Alright, my friends, hope you enjoyed this run with the mathematically most suboptimal ban usage. I thought that was a really interesting challenge, and it was fun to see how it played out in practice, so I hope you enjoyed it. As always, of course, if you did enjoy the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.